of Challenges and Kisses by Ravendagger. Chapter 2, Downhill. Can I have the poster already? Pipsqueak went down, smiling slyly. I'll peck on the cheek is not a proper kiss, but it's close. How about we extend the bet by a few days? Featherweight sighed. Oh well, that means I get to try again. Maybe it'll work this time. His cheeks flushed a bright red as Pipsqueak's smile grew. So, how did it happen? Asked Pipsqueak as he skipped ahead on the well-trod path. Birds sang and whizzed by, playfully flying in the hot rays of the sun. How did what happen? Asked the other, his face wings flapping quickly to keep him afloat. Pipsqueak sighed. How did you fall for her? Oh, replied Featherweight, a blush already beginning to appear on his light skin. She ran to me one day. Sputtered Pipsqueak, sliding to a halt and kicking up a small puff of dust. She did what? With you? What's wrong with him? Featherweight looked down towards his friend quizzically. She hit me with her scooter. When she stopped at me up, well, she was so... He cut himself off, his blush now fully materialized. For a few moments, the two kept walking in silence, a slight grin on Pipsqueak's face, while Featherweight remained flustered. Hold on! We're almost there! Pipsqueak cried out, slowly running forward. Featherweight's wings started flapping harder as he flew, flapping alongside his friend, trees and bushes blurring by as he ran. Where are we going? Instead of replying, Pipsqueak slowed to a trot, then to a brisk walk. Grabbing Featherweight, a small colt threw him into a bush before joining him beneath the sticky and prickly branches. On the other side of the bush was an open field set above a tall cliff, the sharp vegetation dropping towards the town before peeking upwards at an edge. Look! Whispered Pipsqueak, a gleam of mischief in his eye. On the top of the hill, 3 fillies were gathered, all of them circling an odd wooden box with wheels and an umbrella haphazardly tied to it. Is that... Featherweight began to ask himself, as he spotted one of the 3 fillies. This one bearing an orange coat and pink mane. It is! An unstoppable smile creased his face as he saw Scootaloo trying to squeeze into the wheeled box. Applebloom was hitting one of the wheels with a wrench, while Sleepbell talked animatedly with Scootaloo. What are they doing? Asked Featherweight in an unnecessary whisper. Pipsqueak shrugged. I don't know. Gully could say yourself. Apparently it's supposed to be super secret or something. Oh, okay. Featherweight kept looking at the playing fillies. Wait, if it's supposed to be super secret, then how do you know about it? Pipsqueak smiled knowingly. You just need to ask the right pony and have the right information to trade. Said so in a book I read. Featherweight settled down deeper into the prickly grass. A light, warm wind blew across the field, picking up Scootaloo's mane and billowing out. So, who did you ask? He said, breaking the awkward silence. Vanity, said Pipsqueak. Featherweight saw him a look. What? It was easy. Once I convinced her that you had a crescent city bell, she told me everything I needed to know. You told her what? Screamed Featherweight in a panic, jumping out of the bushes as he did so. 3 fillies looked his way as he hovered above the bush. He ignored them, staring accusingly towards Pipsqueak while his mane stood on end. Hi, calm down. It's good to finds out she'll be jealous, and you need to prove your superiority to her, I think. Pipsqueak shrugged as he averted his gaze to the 3 fillies. They were running down the hill, calling down to them with amicable voices. That'll be nice. Here she comes. Hey, Featherweight, is that you? Cried Scootaloo as he hopped and glided ahead of her friends. Immediately, Featherweight's face reddened. Yeah, it's me. Pipsqueak's here too, he said, grabbing his friend by the scruff of his neck and pulling him out of the bush. Pipsqueak stumbled forward before stabilizing himself. Hiya, girls. So, what you up to? Nothing much, said Applebloom, as he slowed to a halt a few steps away. Scootaloo saw this really cool thing in a book, and now we're trying to do the same. Really? What kind of book? Featherweight said, the first thing that came to mind. Scootaloo giggled. I was looking through it, for our project. Suddenly her eyes widened. Oh, don't think I forgot about you. It's just that, We really wanted to go crusading. You understand, right? Dawn, I wanted to spend time with her. Nah, it's fine. You girls take all the time you need. What you're doing was a lot of fun. The three pairs looked around expectantly, waiting. They want me to say something? Can we hear lots? Sure, we can even help. Sleepbell piped up, smiling sweetly toward him. The three fillies turned as one, giggling at some unheard joke, before they began making their way back up the hill. The two colts shared a look before shrugged in innocence. Pipsqueak brushed some leaves off his coat and began walking up as well. You coming, Featherweight? Nodding, the Pegasus fluttered his wings, catching up to his friend as they followed the three fillies. His eyes strayed from looking at the back of Scootaloo's head to curiously inspecting the odd device they had built. It was a buggy, or at least it had parts of a buggy. Two rusty steel wheels made up the back of the tiny vehicle, while the front end had one wheel, centered to balance the racer. Its side panels were made of hastily built and cobbled together pieces of wood, while its insides were composed of a garden chair, nailed to the floor, and a broomstick that served as a steering column. Along one side, in tiled script, the name Crusader was painted in barn red paint. The moment they arrived at the top of the hill, the Crusaders began working on their buggy. Pipsqueak and Featherweight watched them as they sat down on the light fluffy grass, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the cool spring breeze. The fillies worked feverishly at repairing the Crusader, grabbing tools and building materials from a small pile that they had made nearby, only to hammer in crooked nails and dented pieces of wood. You know, as long as they're not making a car, I think we'll be fine. Wow, we really gotta get back to a Harrier problem, don't we? Yeah, we do. After a few moments of silence, broken only by the rasp of a rusty saw, Featherweight got up and began hovering around them. So, is this supposed to be a drag racer? He finally asked. Everbloom gasped, dropping the wrench which he held in her muzzle. I forgot the player sheet! Ear Pony Filly turned around and ran to a nearby pile of tools and toys. Buried beneath buckets of nails and pieces of old barn wood was a beautiful purple and white umbrella. Everbloom ran over to the Crusader, slapping the umbrella's shaft on his side before nailing it in its place with Sleepbell's help. Hold down, she said, backing up to look at her handiwork. All right, let's do this, shouted Scootaloo as she hopped into the buggy, sitting herself up into the deep garden chair. Everything creaked as she took her weight. Is he really going to do this? Featherweight asked himself as he looked between the buggy and the long descent. Gulping, he decided to voice his opinion. Girls, are you sure this is a good idea? The three fillies looked down at him. He shifted his weight from one hoof to the other before going on. I know you guys want your cutie marks, but that's a long way down, and you might hurt yourself. Scootaloo sighed. Oh, come on, Featherweight. Nothing bad's going to happen. Don't be such a spoilsport. I'm not. I just don't want to see you hurt. If you lose control, or what if your buggy breaks? Sleepbell marched towards the vehicle, trying right up to him, and standing uncomfortably close to his face. You're jealous, aren't you? No? What's he talking about? I only want Scootaloo to be safe. Yeah, she said, taking another step. Featherweight began to back up under his glare. You're afraid we'll get better cutie marks than you. Huh? Oh, come on, sweetie. Featherweight's not the jealous type. Scootaloo came to his defense, a smirk on his face. Are you? She asked him. She's defending me? Of course I'm not. I'm just scared you might get hurt. Sleepbell harumphed. Fine, but I'll be watching you. Featherweight let out a long sigh as both Scootaloo and Applebloom stared at Sleepbell, their faces betraying confusion. Maybe you guys could help. I mean, we can always use Diamond, right? Applebloom said with a small, nervous smile, before trying over to their pile. Soon, she pulled an old dented stopwatch out of it. Maybe if you guys started helping more ponies understand their cutie marks and understand who they were, maybe you might get them. Pipsqueak ran up to her, grabbing a stopwatch before stringing it around his neck. Yeah, we can do that! The little colt began running down the hill. Come on, Featherweight! Featherweight tore his eyes from Scootaloo. Oh, yeah, coming! The two colts were halfway down the hill before Pipsqueak spoke once more. "Did you see Sweet Belle? Oh boy, was she bad?" "Yeah, what's up with that?" he said, peeking over his shoulder to the white and purple unicorn as she talked to her friends. "She's never been mean to me before." He hung his head, watching the thick green blades of grass as he bent around his hooves. "I think she likes you," said Pipsqueak. Featherweight's head snapped up, a hundred expressions crossing his face. "Why? Why would she like me?" he finally asked. Pipsqueak shrugged. "I don't know. Girls are weird that way." "And how would you know?" "Called my, intuition." The colt smiled awkwardly towards his Pegasus friend. The Pegasus shook his head. "Intuition, right." A small smile cracked his lips. "Let's just enjoy this, right?" "Huh. And sure, I thought you liked anything that involved Scootaloo." Featherweight punched Pipsqueak's shoulder gently, as they both broke it down into giggles. Their laughter seemed to bubble in the air, accompanied by the singing of happy birds and the gentle sound of wind over grass. Both colts sat at the bottom of the hill. Behind them the same hill rose to a point before dropping off as a sheer cliff, giving them an astonishing view of Ponyville below. Fluffy little clouds darted around the sky, mixing with the thin plumes of smoke around the town. "I think they're ready," said Pipsqueak with an excited sigh. Above them, Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom were leaning against the buggy, back straining as they pushed. Slowly, the rusty vehicle rocked forward, trampling the grass as it began to gain speed. Scootaloo stuck out her wings, beating them wildly as she began to go faster and faster. A loud rumbling sound reached Pipsqueak and Featherweight as the Crusader's wheels turned on their rusting bearings. Scootaloo's mane caught the wind, falling and billowing out behind her as she bounced down the hill at an insane speed, becoming almost a blur of Featherweight's eyes. "She's so cool," he told himself as his jaw dropped. "This is awesome!" yelled Pegasus Billy through her large smile. Moving a hoof forward, Scootaloo grabbed the brake lever and pulled, causing sparks to fly out from under the buggy as it grined and screeched loudly. Birds took off in a flight as every pony covered their ears. Scootaloo reached around with a forehoof, pressing the release on the parachute. The buggy stalled in midair, the umbrella tearing apart as the wind caught, spokes twisting out of shape before the entire thing catapulted forward and released from the restraint. Scootaloo crashed back onto the ground with a hard thump. Featherweight cringed in sympathy as he saw Scootaloo bounce from side to side within the Crusader. From beneath his squinting eyelids, he saw a wheel that bounced along Scootaloo's craft, a wheel that wasn't supposed to be free. "Scootaloo!" he yelled. The filly in question didn't respond as he desperately tried to regain the control of the vehicle. The hill's top was quickly approaching meter by meter, and sweat began to pour out every pony present. "Help!" she yelled in a piercing scream. Grass flew in the air as the Crusader began to dip a thurl into the ground, causing the buggy to shake violently, before it finally spun side to side. Featherweight's eyes teared up, and he grimaced as his wings flapped wildly behind him, trying desperately to gain speed. Reached the end, the entire vehicle jumped above the hill, spinning lightly as it seemed to hang in midair above the deep, rock-filled cliff. Scootaloo fell out, her wings flapping as desperately as her hose spun in the air, vainly trying to catch the Crusader. A blade's fur straight by her, smacking into her with an audible slap, before crashing back into the ground. The two forms tumbled, manes and hose spinning wildly as they rolled to a stop beside each other. Behind them, the Crusader fell, tumbling through the air for a few silent seconds before hitting the rough, rocky soil in an explosion of wooden nails. Featherweight pushed himself up, not bothering to brush off the dirt from his coat as he ran towards Scootaloo. Are you okay?" he asked, his voice shaky and nervous. Scootaloo groaned, twisting on her belly. She pushed herself up, testing her wings as she did so. Nothing broken," she announced, rubbing her hoof against her sore flank. "No key mark for almost dying, either." Featherweight started laughing, relief draining any self-restraint from his body as he rolled on the grass. Seconds later, Scootaloo joined him, giggling softly alongside him. "What's so funny?" Apple Bloom cried out as she, Sweetie Belle, and Pipsqueak joined them. All three were panting, out of breath. Scootaloo let out a few barks of laughter before answering. "Nothing. It's not really funny. Just stupid." Scootaloo looked at Featherweight, seeming to judge him with their eyes. Thanks, Feathers. That was really cool. She slapped her shoulder with a hoof. Come along, girls. We should get going. I don't think drag racing's our thing. Emma Blue tapped her hoof against her chin peacefully. Now Brothers putting out singles on the reef. Life like a hamper, like we got marks. She's Belle smiling silently. That's a great idea. Let's go! Kitty, Mike, and Sam, swim for Paris! Kitty! The three ponies yelled in unison, their gusto slightly dampened by the warm air and humid weather. Maybe we should be Kitty Mark swimmers first, suggested Sleep Belle. All sticky and warm. If you go any further with a joke like that, Trixie swears she will beat you with an inch of her life! The three turned to leave, giggling laughing as they did so. Wait! Cried Featherweight. The three stopped, turning to face him. Can we work on the project tomorrow? He asked, tiny squeaky. Please. Sure, Feathers. See you tomorrow. That was cool. Featherweight said under his breath. Say her like that. Real smooth. Yeah, smooth. Still no kiss. Little Colt smiled to his friends as he trotted away. You still haven't won that bet. You have until Monday. Chapter 3. Lessons and Knockouts. Smooth blue moonlight crept across the sturdy old desk as the Pegasus scribbled notes in a fury. The scratching of his quill was interrupted by only the occasional rustle of a page or the whisper of a candle flame. Featherweight's desk held books, manuals, and thick guides, all of them addressing different aspects of the Pegasus' greatest ability, flight. Fresh sheets of paper were covered in a childish scrawl, all piled in a neat column to his side. Topping the pile, a single sheet lay the words, a special project, a Pegasus flight. So, would you say it's a single Pegasus project? No! By Scootaloo and Featherweight. Need to finish! He repeated himself, as his drowsy eyes wandered over, unable to focus on the page before him. The clock in the corner of his small bedroom ticked a hypnotizing beat, to which he found himself nodding in time. Need to impress Scootaloo. His head leaned forward, lightly touching the wooden surface of the desk as his last yawned. Just a second. His snoring was light and even, filling the room with a soft sound as the candle slowly became a nub and the moon flew across the sky. One more paragraph on mid-air aerodynamics, and I'll be done with that part. And then His mind froze as he felt a slight tickling of the hot summer sun against his face. An ear twitched, then an eye flickered open, immediately squinting shut under the sun's bright glare. Gah! He screamed, tumbling out of his chair to land with a crash on the hard floor. I'm late! Fumbling onto his hose, he began picking up his work, throwing it into his trusty old saddlebags before snapping them shut. A small stack of sheets fell off the edge, unnoticed by the hurrying Colt. How to Fly, by Featherweight, for Scootaloo, was written in clear, loving text on the front. He scurried out of the room, hooves clacking loudly against the linoleum flooring as he streaked through the corridor. The smell of warm toast and strawberry jam unnested his hungry nostrils as he moved past the kitchen. Feather, come and eat breakfast, called out a familiar warm voice. No time, Ma! Today's the day! Featherweight slid to a halt in front of the house's door, opening it with a cheerful swing before jumping out. His eyes watered and his nose scrunched up as he collided with a hard yet pliable surface. Oof! 2 small umps shouted out across the small garden in front of his house, and walking into the street. Featherweight crashed into his rump, forehose instinctively clutching his bleeding nestle. Ow! Said a gruff yet feminine voice. Looking through his blurred, tear-filled eyes, Featherweight stared at the orange Pegasus that lay sprawled at the foot of his door. Scootaloo? Hi, Featherweight, said the filly as he groaned, climbing back under her hose. The Colt hopped forward, doing a quicker run around the filly, and inspecting her. Are you all right? Did I hurt you? Do you need to go to the hospital? Worry and fear danced across his face. while small beads of sweat formed along the edge of his scalp, despite the cool morning breeze. Scootaloo laughed, her chiming voice making him dizzy with glee, as she playfully shoved him away. I'm fine, but you're bleeding pretty hard. Maybe you should take the day off? Huh? No way! I'm fine! Really! She's at my house. I didn't even invite her. Is everything clean? Oh, goodness. I hope Mom doesn't show up. He screamed to himself, and sweat poured freely down his head. His eyes found every imperfection around him. So, what are you doing here? The colt rubbed the back of his head with a forehoof. Scootaloo coughed, looked down skeptically. Right. Well, I have notes for the project. Hopefully everything's there. She reached around and into her saddlebags, pulling out a slightly tattered and very wrinkly pile of seats. I was wondering if you might hang on to these. I have things to do today and, well... She looked away in shame. The paper sheet dumped at his hose, rustling in the wind. Raising down, Featherweight flipped the first page over, eyes widening as he took it in. The entire page was covered in notes, a small hoof-drawn descriptions of wings, maneuvers, and aerospace stunts. Well, these are brilliant! You draw really well. Thanks. She took a half step backwards, face reddening. I really have to get going. Sorry for dumping all that work on you. No problem. Featherweight waved it off. So, where are you going? Just to the edge of town. You know that little clearing that leads up to the apple farm? Oh yeah, just past Miss Rarity's boutique. Scootaloo turned away from him, thumbing her forehead slightly. Yeah, that's the one. She took another step back, her rear hoof tapping against the roadway. Guess I'll see you tomorrow? She asked, smiling timidly. Gah! I can't let her go just like that. Think, Featherweight, think! Wait! Scootaloo froze in the center of the town, some ponies going about their daily business, circumventing her with glares. I have something for you! Twisting around, Featherweight reached into his bag with a wing, fumbling around blindly for a while. Oops, one sec. Please! He begged. His host scraped against the floor of his home as he galloped back towards his room, the frames of the wall shifting as he streaked by. Arriving in the room, Featherweight's eyes roamed the area, twisting around until they came to rest on a small notebook. He smiled as he picked it up and scurried out of the room. He mumbled through the notebook. A blue unicorn with an hourglass cutie mark stared at him, blinking in confusion. You're so screwed! Nope! I'm Colgate. Pleased to meet you. The mayor smiled at him, lifting a hoof to shake. Hi, Minuet! He groaned in frustration, ignoring the extended hoof as he looked up and down the broad roadway. No signs of the orange village remained, as plenty of ponies trotted about, talking loudly as they began the day's business. What did you say? Asked Colgate, a look of surprise and irritation crossing her face. Featherweight spat the notepad out, letting it scan the ground with a slap. I said fudge! Have you seen an orange village about Yatel? Yeah, she flirted that way. The mare pointed down the road, relief and humor plastered on her face. Featherweight picked up the notebook and threw it into his bag. Thanks! He yelled as he ran off, kicking up a light dust as his wings buzzed. Soon, he was hovering over other ponies on his way toward the edge of town. Sudden draft created in his wake, sending papers and loose pieces of debris flying everywhere. He spotted the Carousel Boutique. A small round shop was gaudily painted in bright and flashy colors, its windows proudly displaying the mannequins bearing clothing and crazy apparel that nobody knew would be caught dead wearing. Featherweight flew by it, the bushes around the building rustling as his wingtips brushed against them. Seconds later, he landed with a small thump against the soggy ground, filling his lungs with fresh, dew-filled morning air as he did so. The sun was just cresting nearest the tree line, splashing long shadows across the field where a single orange Pegasus stood. Featherweight's breath caught as he gasped at the beauty of the scene. Scootaloo was turned, back toward him, with her two tiny wings outstretched along her sides. Her stance, leaned forward and ready to jump, was the epitome of Pegasus' grace and flexibility. Sunlight glowed around her, making the tiny, almost imperceptible beads of sweat on her coat and mane glimmer as they waved in the light. Lavender-smelling wind that permeated the world around him. Featherweight gulped as her wings began to beat. A look of fierce determination plastered on her face as inch by inch she rose up. Blades of grass waving and pushing away from her in a rough circle on the ground. You could hear her grunting, forcing as her efforts redoubled to stay afloat. She's so beautiful, he thought to himself, unable to swallow or even move. Finally, the filly yelled, the voice filled with pleasure as she kicked out with her hooves. I did it! I'm flying! Just as the words escaped the filly's mouth, her wings seized, sending her pummeling against the soggy grass with a loud thump. Scootaloo! Within seconds, Featherweight was by her side, having crossed the entire field in the blink of a worried eye. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Do you see CPR? Please say yes. Scootaloo coughed, face flushing a little. You saw that? So what? You trying to fly? Featherweight immediately cringed. Idiot, idiot, idiot! Her blood spread further across her face, as she practically steamed below him, becoming the sweetest, most adorable shade of red he had ever seen. Genius, genius, genius! You weren't supposed to see that, she said, turning her face away from him. What do you mean? You almost got 10 feet of air! Do that a few more times, and Rainbow Dash will look like a total wimp beside you. Featherweight leaned forward, helping her up, and thoroughly enjoying the contact between him and her. Scootaloo smiled a little. Better than Rainbow Dash. Right. She rolled her eyes, smile growing. I need to cheer her up. Suddenly his eyes widened. Look, I have something for you. Reaching around, Dakota Hurley opened up his saddlebags and pulled out the notebook and gently placed it on the grass in front of her, beaming all the while. What is it? She asked, flipping over the cover page to show hoof-drawn diagrams depicting exercises and simple lessons. It's a training program. The babe's coats became a bright red as she shuffled from one hoof to the other. I used to learn to fly. I was thinking maybe, I could teach you. Scootaloo caught an eyebrow apprehensively, uncertain. Teach me? Yeah, if you want to. Please say yes, please say yes. Sure, she tried. What's the worst that could happen? Featherweight smiled, before flicking the page of a notebook over, striking off his saddlebags. Okay, let's start with the basic covering. Now, position yourself like this. He set his hooves apart, forming an invisible square where he stood, blades of grass tickling along his short legs. Scootaloo looked at his position, then mimicked her own. Okay, great. Now, spread your wings out and buzz. But don't fly off just yet. The field was then filled with the light sounds of their wings flapping up and down. Scootaloo's rump rose up a little before she lowered herself to the ground. Okay, now, we move up a little, but not too high. Both Featherweight and Scootaloo lifted until they hovered on the spot, their hooves trailing mere inches away from the ground. He took a moment to look up, and almost fell as her beaming smile broke his concentration and melted his heart. Okay, now, we scoot to the side a little, then lean forward. Featherweight turned slowly, showing Scootaloo how to do the same, as they both faced the nearby woods. Then they leaned forward, moving slowly as the grass behind him flickered and fluttered. This is so cool! She cried gleefully, wind rustling her mane and whipping her mane and tail around. Let's go faster? No, it's too soon. She might get hurt. His thoughts were interrupted by her huge smile and expectant eyes. Sure! They increased their pace, Featherweight slowly banking into a sweeping arc, and occasionally turning to see Scootaloo right behind him. With a rush, they flew by the woods, trees blurring into a brown wall as they buzzed by. Featherweight, I've already done a whole new world. Don't you dare make me do it again! Let's head back toward the roadway, he shouted over his shoulder. One hoof pointed towards a small path that snaked its way between the town and Sweet Apple Acres. A single cart pulled by a red stallion occupied the road, a thin tendril of dust rising up towards the sky. Scootaloo nodded her agreement before blasting past him. Featherweight couldn't help but laugh at seeing her enjoy herself. Bubbling, gut-wrenching joy spurted out of him as he too leaned forward, intent on catching up. Both of them weaved and bobbed around each other in a race without a goal. First to the tree! shouted Scootaloo, Nudging her head towards a gigantic oak that jutted out to pass the roadway. Not waiting for an answer, Featherweight redoubled his efforts, laughing as he inched past her. The tree grew larger and larger as they both focused on it with a single-minded determination. Suddenly, Scootaloo yelled out, "Hey! How do you stop?" "What?" Looking behind him, Featherweight saw worry written between the lines of her happy expression. "Uh-oh." Scootaloo began to slow down, one hoof trailing lightly amongst the blades of grass. Seeing her trying to stop, Featherweight pulled up, looping around and back toward her iodine frame. "I can't stop!" No. That's not how you stop. If she does that, she'll... He watched in horror as one of her legs snagged the ground, pulling her into a mid-air spin that was lying her right towards the great oak. "She'll spin out!" His eyes quickly traced her trajectory. "Oh, Celestia, she's gonna hit that tree!" "Don't you dare!" "He's going to do it. He won't do it. He's going to do it. He won't do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do the jump." Scootaloo, Ponyville, fast as he can be. "Watch out for that tree!" "I hate you." Without thinking, he placed himself between Scootaloo and that tree. Crunching sounds before he rammed into them. Both of them flew backwards until they rammed the tree. The last thing he saw before his world went black was the panicking breathing of an orange filly onto his chest.